Government is considering terminating a contract with a Ghanaian company, Jakpa at Business, for the procurement of 200 buses worth 2.4 million euros in 2010. According to the Health Minister, a report on a technical examination conducted on 30 of these ambulances, forgive me, ambulances, not buses, which were imported, said the ambulances were defective and not fit for purpose. Speaking at the Meet the Press series in Accra, Kwekwajuman Minu said government will terminate the contract and demand a refund if the Attorney General advises so. Let's have a listen to the Health Minister and then we'll get the thoughts of a procurement expert on this.
I got a call from the President's office last week. The President is not comfortable about why we are leaving the ambulances sitting down there. Then I responded that, tell the President for me, that the ambulances were rejected by the ministry even before I joined in, on the basis that it did not meet technical specifications. And I've seen a technical report which says that those type of buses cannot be used for ambulance because they were created for cargo and they have holes underneath. An ambulance with blood and infections and all that, if you try to use that ambulance, you wouldn't know how hygienic or safe they will be. So we can't negotiate to take anything. For us, we haven't received any items, but unfortunately, some payments, LCs were done and they were drawn. They were supposed to supply 200. They did only 30. So we are now engaging the Attorney General to see, after that long delay for non-performance on the part of the contractor, whether there will be merit for us to terminate the contract and demand refund of what monies had gone to the suppliers.
Right, now let's learn a little bit more about this. Kobna Atabedu joins us now. He's a procurement analyst. Mr. Atabedu, very good to speak to you. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Right, now this is a rather murky situation. So we've gone into a contract, LCs have been issued, 30 of the 200 that were contracted to take off them have been delivered. But these 30 have simply sat there, and the next step has never happened. Government of Ghana has never taken the next step. They're saying they won't because the 30 that have been delivered are not up to the standard agreed. Now we're seeking advice to terminate. From the perspective of the supplier, do we have the moral high ground to do this, considering how we have basically handled the process?
Okay. So both parties have engaged in implied actions, which seeks to suggest that there's been a waiver of certain rights. Typically, if I order 200 vehicles, you are supposed to deliver 200 vehicles. If you deliver 30, which is not anywhere close to substantial, then I have, as a buyer, I have a right to reject volumes, the entire order, because you haven't delivered substantially. By accepting 30 out of 200, the government also impliedly has waived its right to reject and terminate the contract by accepting the 30. The other issue is the fitness for purpose. And under Section 14 and 15 of our Sale of Goods Act, which talks about the sale by description. When you tell me that you are going to sell me an ambulance, what you give to me must be an ambulance or look like an ambulance. If you've given me something which is not like an ambulance, then you haven't fulfilled your part of the agreement. So I have a right to reject it. So if you take these two, just simply going by the Sale of Goods Act and the law of contract, government should not have accepted this. However, I think I heard the interview a while back when the supplier was explaining what happened, to the effect that the ministry sent people to Dubai to go and do an inspection of the goods. So when they went to inspect the vehicles, what did they see, which informed the vehicles being shipped? So if what you saw was not close to an ambulance, why did you allow him to deliver? Because then once you have agreed a point of delivery, and he brought the goods to the point of delivery, and you accepted the goods, whether it is fit for purpose or not, you have accepted it, and that is where the challenge is. So it might be easy for them to say that you have failed to deliver the 170 left, so they can terminate the contract. But it will be difficult for them to terminate the 30 they have received, unless when they received it on a caveat that, okay, we are receiving the shell, which is the empty vehicle, and you are coming to retrofit them by this time. If they have failed to retrofit it by this time to make it an ambulance, then what they ordered is not fit for purpose. It defeats the provisions of Section 14 of the Sale of Goods Act, which is still by description. The description you gave me is not the same as what you have given to me. So then the government can have a basis to terminate.
Right. So at this point, what options are really available? I mean, the Attorney General is going to ultimately advise on what we should do. But
yes,
yeah,
so
what options are available?
Opinion, and the Attorney General is the best place to give a legal opinion. And she will look at all these and look at case law, previous transactions, and make references and use it to make her argument.
Are we likely to end up out of pocket?
We may be out of pocket for the 30, not for the 170.
Not for the 200, but for the 30.
For the 30 that has been delivered, yes.
Right. Now, I mean, we've seen judgment that...
My challenge is that because in our public procurement system, most of the time we provide mobilization or we do advance payment. So if there's been an advance payment, which the quantum is more than the cost of the 30, then now what we are going to require is the supplier should bring back the rest of the money. And that is where it can be a problem. Right.
Now, LCs have been issued as well. Is there not a potential for judgment debt here?
Okay, so there are two types of LCs. There's the irrevocable type, and then there's the revocable type. If it was an irrevocable letter of credit, then they've paid the items in full.
Right.
So suing him should not be for suing him to terminate the contract. It's suing him to recover your money for non-performance.
I believe that's what the health minister was actually saying, that they are considering suing for recovery.
Yes, because with an irrevocable letter of credit, before the bank would even issue the letter of credit, they would have taken the cover amount from you.
Right. All right. So, I mean, at the moment, we are still waiting for 275 ambulances to arrive for the constituencies, according to the president. And the Director General of the Ghana Health Service even said they should be here by end of April, but they're not.
Because my biggest challenge with this country and the way we are going is that day in, day out, we have issues like this. Who are the individuals, the public servants, who are paid with state money to do a job for the state, who sat and watched these things happen? We might pay money, we might get our money back, but we have lost something. People have died because of the unavailability of those ambulances. What are we going to do with those individuals who caused this loss? Until we begin to hold individuals responsible for issues like this impunity will not stop, because they know they can do it and get away with it. We need to begin to have a punitive system in place that will make sure that anybody who breaches our procurement laws would face the full rigors of the law. Then people will begin to be afraid. That is what America did with the SOX provision, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. When there's something like that, the chief executive, the chief financial officer, and the chief procurement officer, they will all go to jail and they will pay fines.
So let me ask, I believe in prevention as well. So now that we've had this experience, is there anything that needs to change to ensure that we never find ourselves in such a position again? Do we need to do something to the law, or some institution needs to be set up? What can we do to avoid this?
We have too many laws and too many institutions already. People must simply do their job. Where is the due diligence that shows that this company has the capacity to sell ambulances? We are putting too many square pegs in round holes. We do not do the due diligence before we select suppliers. If my memory serves me right, this thing was done on sole sourcing basis. So how come a company that does not have the track record of producing and supplying ambulances? And capacity is not because the company is a registered company. Capacity is that its objects So typically, capacity in this case means that the car is a registered auto dealership, like Toyota Ghana or CFAO or Silver Star. Then you know that they have capacity. But if any fly-by-night person comes up and registers a company overnight, we create a contract for the person. That's what the judge called it, create, loot, and share. Yes, she said, and that is what is killing us.
So do you? I guess you're saying that the Public Procurement Authority in this case is also complicit, and somebody there has to answer some questions.
They will all have to answer what process they went through to award the contract. And if they had done the right thing, why are we where we are?
Well, we know that under the previous government, some of those who were working at the Public Procurement Authority were not by law qualified to be there. The law states what sort of qualifications a person must have in order to hold positions on the board and so forth at public procurement. Is that part of the problem? I mean, you talked about square pegs in round holes. Is that part of what is causing these problems?
So it is not for nothing that the framers of the Act said that for you to be a member of the board, you must have substantial experience in procurement. It is not for nothing.
So I'm guessing politics then might also be playing a role in some of these problems we're having.
Yes. But you see, we have elected representatives sitting in Parliament who are supposed to represent us, the people. They should be asking those questions on our behalf.
Well, Mr. Kobna Atta-Bedu, I want to thank you very much for your time with us. Mr. Atta-Bedu is a procurement analyst. Right. Now, we've been trying to get a response from the Ministry of Health on this matter. They have not responded to us yet. We'll continue to try. But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, there's even more. We are still waiting for ACP Kwesi Ofori. He didn't make it yesterday. He promised to be here today. We're waiting. We hear he's in motion, so we'll be looking out for him. But Kwesi Arthur will be here. Right here on the show. Stay with us.
It's here again. The International Advertising Association, IAA, and the Advertising Association of Ghana, AAG, are proud to announce the return to Accra, Ghana, of the IAA's Africa Rising Leadership Conference. This leadership conference comes off on Monday, the 20th, and Tuesday, the 21st of May at the Labadi Beach Hotel. A world-class group of speakers lined up for this two-day conference include Yao Insaku, the Executive Vice President of Unilever for Ghana and Nigeria, Salom Adadifo, CEO, MTN Ghana, Patricia Obonai, CEO, Vodafone Ghana, Emeka Okeke, Fuse Media, Denture Ages Nigeria, Elizma Nolt, Facebook Africa, Maz Okaba, Association of Communications and Advertising South Africa, and many more. Email africarising@aag.com.gh to register. This event is proudly sponsored by Stanbic Bank, Cosmos Energy, MTN Ghana, Enterprise Insurance, and Vodafone Ghana.
Our media partner is Joy Business.
Africa is indeed rising. Don't miss this major learning opportunity.
Imagine living in a world of comfort and luxury, in a well-planned and gated community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex which has Olympic-sized swimming pools, football, basketball, athletics, and gym facilities. I'm talking about Eden Heights, the new destination for luxury in Ghana. Eden Heights is developed with the highest grade of finishing in our penthouses in our 1 to 4 bedroom apartments and is located close to the beach resorts along the Atlantic Ocean, about 30 minutes drive from the airport and 5 minutes walk from the West Hills Mall. Eden Heights is the ideal location for luxury. Visit us at edenheights.com.gh or email to sales@edenheights.com.gh or call us on 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445 for more information. Eden Heights, welcome home.
access and availability to healthcare, as well as costs, are driving many to look for alternative ways of staying healthy and ensuring well-being. Learn more and participate at the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, which will focus on the general healthcare, pharmaceutical, herbal and treatment, with exhibitors and businesses from these industries. There will also be activities for direct consumer engagement and specialized discussions for corporate wellness, general well-being, debilitating health issues and concerns. It's happening from the 30th of May to 1st June 2019. Venue is the National Theatre here in Accra. The general theme is Good Health, a driver for sustainable development. Interested businesses should call 0544 310864 or 0540 106466. The Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show has been endorsed by the Ministry of Health and is supported by New Crystal Health Services Limited, growing together in good health, and Health Link Healthy Man and Woman from Pharma Trust Limited.